So open your heart and open your soul. Your life will be complete when you give God control.
What we are going to do again today is try to kind of keep our eye on the big picture of this story of mercy, this call to mercy. And then a little bit later in the week, we're going to try to break it down into some practical aspects. But going back to a kind of a definition we said yesterday, on one hand, mercy is God not giving us what we deserve. You know, we deserve, you know, a punishment, or we deserve this, we deserve to be caught, and God in His mercy holds back that from us. And He says, you know, and you in turn also need to be merciful. So as God has forgiven us and does not hold our offenses against us, it's not enough to say, oh, thank you, God. We have to then be willing to extend the same mercy towards others. But the other side of mercy is God giving us what we don't deserve. You know, and that's always a big philosophical question. What does a person deserve? You know, in my country, in our founding documents, it says we have the God-given right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What does a human being deserve? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what I can say. I'm a human and I have a right to these things. I don't know what they are. To me personally, everything we have is a gift from God. The next breath, the next heartbeat, there's no guarantees. And so every day is a gift from God. Do I deserve to live another day? I don't know. I'll take it as a gift. So on one hand, mercy is God holding back the judgment that we deserve, and He asks us to act like that towards other people. On the other hand, mercy can be considered God giving us what we don't necessarily deserve. You know, how do you earn the right for certain things? I don't know. And then He asks us to act that way towards other people. Yesterday we were looking at the stupid sheep who ran away. Well, he's dumb enough to run away. Too bad, that's what he gets. The coin that's not really worth looking for, and yet the homeowner looks for the coin, and the son who in his arrogance walks away from his father and goes off to live with pigs and returns to his senses and comes back. So those are the kind of things we were looking at yesterday, of the generosity of God, the willingness to overlook our faults and our shortcomings, the willingness to give us another chance and another chance and another chance. And we see the evidence of that in Jesus Christ on the cross. There is the mercy of God. Remember, the challenge, the problem God faced was, how could He honor the free will of Adam and Eve, who chose to leave Him? He couldn't pretend that didn't happen. But how could He somehow, without violating human free will, create an opportunity for us to come back to Him? And He solved that problem in the person of Jesus. But today we're going to look at the other aspect. And as I said, throughout the week after this, we'll start looking at practical applications of each side of that. Mercy, as I said, is not only forgiveness, but it's doing the right thing. And we talked a little bit yesterday about Pope Francis making a kind of a big deal about walking through these holy doors, walking through these doors of Jubilee. And it's not simply a ritual, but there's a symbolism there of walking from one world into another. And the world people are walking into is the life of the church, the life of Christ, where they should find, consolation and hope and healing and forgiveness. So passing through the door isn't simply some kind of a symbolic thing, but it's speaking about going from one world to another. In fact, in one place, St. Paul says that you and I have been transferred from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light. We once were lost, now we're found. We were blind, and now we see. What amazing grace. So the whole Christian journey, that's exactly what it is. It's a journey. The Exodus was a journey. The story of Abraham was a journey. The story of Noah was a journey. Jesus, was in the desert for 40 days. So there's this whole imagery of constantly moving from one reality to another. And we have been transferred from darkness to light. We have made a journey. We've made our own exodus from slavery to freedom. So there's a transformation that takes place as we pass through these doors. But Pope Francis said another thing that's kind of something we haven't probably talked about in a long time. And this is a little quote from his plan for the Year of Mercy. I have asked the Church in this Jubilee year to rediscover the richness encompassed by spiritual and corporal works of mercy. The spiritual and corporal works of mercy. This isn't some newfangled thing. These have been around seemingly forever. And I would suspect a lot of us, when we were little kids, we actually memorized what the spiritual and corporal works of mercy. I have to confess I had to write them down again. I can't remember them all. But often this was considered kind of a Catholic way of life, to do the corporal and the spiritual works of mercy. And it's kind of surprising to see Francis bring this up again, because it really is something that people would say, oh, that's the old church, that's the old days. And yet he's bringing it forward again as, no, this is a real practical and concrete way to live out this year of mercy. So let me just read through the list of what the corporal and spiritual works of mercy are. Now again, it's interesting. Up to now we've been saying that mercy is withholding something. Now we're saying mercy is giving something. Okay? We're withholding judgment, we're withholding wrath, we're withholding anger, and now we're extending something out to people. And here we go. The spiritual works of mercy are to instruct the ignorant, to counsel, not console, to counsel the doubtful, to admonish sinners, to bear wrongs patiently, to forgive offenses willingly, to comfort the afflicted, and to pray for the living and the dead. I'll just go through that list again real quick. Instruct the ignorant, counsel, not console, counsel the doubtful, admonish sinners, bear wrongs patiently, forgive offenses willingly, comfort the afflicted, and pray for the living and the dead. Okay?
Lord, send your spirit and fall afresh on us. Fill us with your power, Lord, and fill us with your love. Lord, send your spirit and fall afresh on us.